Hello viewers, in this video we discuss about the issue of Sterlite Copper. Let's get started. What is Sterlite? The main objective of the company is extracting copper from copper pyrites and use it for several industrial purposes. We all know that copper is important in industrial and infrastructural metal and which is also used for defense expenditures too. Copper from all over the world are imported from here and extracted, and they are used for several purposes. Who are the owners of Sterlite? Sterlite was owned by Vedanta Enterprises, which is owned by Anil Agarwal, which is headquartered at London. History. In 1992, Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation allotted a plot in Ratnagiri district for the construction of the plant. On December 1993, the people of the city protested against the construction of the plant. After that incident, Sterlite has been relocated to Thoothukudi. It is the largest copper smelter plant in India, located in Thoothukudi from 1998 to 2018. The plant was not operational from March 2018 and it was shut down by the government of Tamil Nadu on 28 May 2018 after the protest of the locals. Chronology of events before Thoothukudi issue. In 1994, Sterlite Copper, a unit of Vedanta Limited, enters Tamil Nadu after the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board gives no objection certificate. In 1995, Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board allows Sterlite Copper to begin the construction of the smelting plant, ignoring protests by locals who oppose setting up of the industry, citing environmental concerns. In 1996, so the National Trust for Clean Environment approaches the Madras High Court to challenge the environmental clearances. The government issues license to Sterlite Industries to operate the unit. In 1997, villagers near the Sterlite Copper smelting unit fall sick and allege that their illness was due to the pollution generated from the plant. In 1998, National Environment Engineering Research Institute in its report comes down heavily on Sterlite for building the plant within 14 km of the Gulf of Mannar, floating government's rule that the location should not be within 25 km of the ecologically sensitive area. In 1999, locals allege gas leak from Sterlite Copper plant. Many people get hospitalized. In 2001, residents complained of toxic wastewater reportedly flooding into the Silvapuram, Millavatan and Kayudikutan tanks. In September 2010, Madras High Court orders shutting down of Sterlite for the violations of the law and heavy pollution. Sterlite Copper gets a stay from Supreme Court on the Madras High Court order shutting down the plant. The Apex Court allows the plant to continue. In March 2013, Supreme Court fined Sterlite Copper Rs 100 crores for flouting environmental norms but refuses to shut down the firm. In June 2013, Sterlite Copper reopens after being shut for almost 3 months. After these incidents, in February 2018, the protest started again and finally on August 18, 2020, Madras High Court dismisses Vedanta's plea to reopen Sterlite Copper plant. Reason behind the issue. The wave of the protest started when Sterlite's plan to increase the capacity from 4 lakh ton to 8 lakh ton per year. In corporate statements, Sterlite has said it would make the plant one of the world's largest single-location copper smelting complexes. On 12th February, over 250 people started an indefinite hunger strike. On 14 February 2018, there were around 500 people, including women and children, blocked the gate until they were rounded up and arrested. Since then, protests have been ongoing day and night. On 24th March, media suggested that this protest is comparable to 2017 pro-Jallikattu protest and Thoothukudi protest had shaken the state. On 22nd May 2018 morning, the people from coastal areas started marching to the collector's office from Our Lady of Snows Church around 10 am. Police barricaded roads near the village close to Sterlite and as a result, majority of the protesters cannot reach the protest site at all. An argument started between the police and the protesters in front of first barricade. After some time, protesters asked them why they were siding with the Sterlite. The police started to lathi-charge against the people after seeing that they were uncompromising. Police opened fire, killing 12% on 22nd May at various places in Thuthukudi town. And as the protest continued, one more person was shot on dead on 23rd May. Another man died after 5 months of being in coma in October 2018 after getting injured in lathi charge by police. Major byproducts and its application. Phosphoric acid. It is used in manufacturing fertilizer. It is also used in making animal feeds like dicalcium phosphate and monodibasic calcium phosphate. Sulfuric acid. It is widely used in chemical industries. It is an important input in mining, oil refining, pulp and paper, detergent manufacturing and steel industries. It is used in manufacture of fertilizer and phosphoric acid. Ferrocyan. It is also known as copper slag. It is a byproduct generated during pyrometallurgical process to produce copper. Sterlite produces approximately 6 lakh MT of copper slag per annum. It is used as building and road constructing material for landfilling applications and in cement industry. Phosphogypsum. It is used in chemical industries, brick manufacturing and plaster of Paris manufacturing. It is economical and quality substitute for natural gypsum. It is widely used in fertilizer application for soil reclamation. Impact on air. It emits sulfur dioxide, arsenic and heavy metals. Sulfur dioxide gas leak leads to suffocation and ice burning. 2013 leak affected thousands, leads to mass protests and temporary closure of the plant. Impact on water. Huge amount of water is used and polluted. Groundwater is also polluted by H2SO4 and other waste. Higher CD, Cr, Cu and Pb in samples. Chronic exposure to iron in drinking water leads to fatigue, joint and abdominal pain. Impact on biosphere. Due to leakage of sulfur dioxide, the color of the leaf changes and dries off. The disposal of heavy metals spoil cultivatable land. Toxic concentration of copper and lead in grass also affects horses, goats and sheep. Investigations. The autopsy results reveal that 12 of the 13 members killed during the protest got hit by bullets in the head or chest, while half of those died got were shot from behind. In the case of a young girl, the bullet entered through her back of her head and exited through her mouth. While police rules allow them to use live bullets to stop protests, the gun should be aimed below the waist level and the policeman should not shoot to kill. A video shot from the proximity of the policeman during the protest shows a policeman aiming at the protesters from a top of a van with a gun and a voice in the background can be heard saying, "At least one must be died." Central Bureau of Investigation. In November 2018, CBI files cases against the police personnel and the revenue department officials in Tamil Nadu for the death of 13 people killed during the protest. The CBI charged the accused with criminal intimidation, criminal conspiracy and disobeying law with the intention to cause injury to people. This comes after the several environmental activities questioned the National Green Tribals appointed panel, which says that the state government action to close the plant after protests was illegal. Reopening of Sterlite. On 27 April 2021, the Supreme Court of India allowed Vedanta Limited to operate its oxygen production unit at its Sterlite copper premises in Thuthukudi in order to meet the national demand for oxygen for the COVID-19 affected patients. The order will hold ground till 31st July 2021. Thank you for watching this video. Don't miss out other videos which has been published in Social Relations. See you soon. Next interesting topics.